Tim from Ski Rex Media here, my friends, and I need you to do me a favor before we get into the episode. You're going to hear the date December 11th thrown around a few times in the episode. That's when I thought this episode was debuting, but it isn't. It's debuting today, December 4th. Just remember that, ignore that, and enjoy this episode where we bring the arts back to the Ski Rex Media podcast with our new friend Matt Champness. Enjoy.
He lets me feel alive. Every curve, feel the drive. Join the crew and shred the ride. Ski and snowboard side by side.
So the Snowbound Expo is still is now a couple weeks gone by. It absolutely is. And I'm still playing catch up. There's still going to be plenty of people on the Ski Rex Media podcast from the Snowbound Expo that I did not get to because I had to leave early. And then after everybody left on time or early, we all got disgustingly sick. It's the one big con to going to that con is that we all catch something. And who knows what it is. Some people like COVID. I doubt it. It's Boston ick, whatever it is. But doesn't matter. This person you hear laughing in the back room is a friend of ours that, a friend of Ski Rex Media that I met at the Outdoor Expo in April. Come back, and sure enough, he was there at Snowbound and agreed to talk to us today, bringing art back to the program. Mr. Matt Champness, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for inviting me, and it's great to spend some time with you today.
Absolutely, and I say that the arts has a big part of, and that encompasses all arts. Now, we'll talk about what Matt actually does. If you don't know, you might have run into him. I'd like to say you'd see a piece of his art on the wall behind me if A, I use the video, which I don't, and B, if I wasn't moving stuff around. So it is framed, it is here, but it is down with the other one. So anyway, arts is a big part of snow sports. I don't know how it got that way. It just did. So let's talk about, first let's start. We already know who Matt is. What do you do? What is your focus in art, the artwork? What do you do?
Yeah, so I do a couple of things, right? One of the things that I'm probably most known for, if you've seen me at the expo or other craft fairs and fairs I've done, is I journal my exploits on the mountain every year. So every time I go on the mountain, I'll either take my sketchbook up with me, I'll sit in between the trees and paint a scene as a way to record what I've done that day. So I have this big sketchbook every year that kind of details funny things we did, runs we did, food we ate, and I give it to my kids every year. So I do watercolor and ink sketch on that. And a byproduct of doing that is I take that art and then I put it into prints and custom originals that I kind of sell to the general public through my website, Etsy, and all manner of stuff. So those are the kind of two things that I do from an art perspective.
Very good. And that's kind of an interesting way to do it. We all try to have something to remember. You know, we do this, we go out, we hit a hill. Maybe you take photos, maybe you take videos, maybe you write it down, or maybe you paint it, which you do. So as you did this, as you got into it, let's start like this. Were you artist first, then snowboarder? Matt rides snowboards, by the way, or the other way around?
Let me give you some backstory of where this kind of materialized, and hopefully that 100. Answers your question. So I was kind of creative at school. My grandfather was an artist. My mother is very handy with her, with art and stuff like that. My sister is too. But from school, I never touched a pencil or pen ever. I found myself one night, my wife was watching one show of Real Housewives of whatever, and I was flicking through my phone, and I generally just thought to myself, this can't be my life after work, right? I can't go to work, come home, sit and just watch mindless TV or scroll through my phone and think, I need to buy something. I need to buy something. I need to buy something. So I had this kind of light bulb moment. I was like, you know what? I used to be creative. I'm going to do an art course.
Sure.
So I sat and did an art course. I did a 6-week art course, and it was based on this kind of urban sketching. So if you're not familiar with urban sketching, it's a point in time. It's a reference point. It's not painting to 4 corners of a canvas. It's very much what you see on the streets. And I really started to learn that. And over 6 weeks, I just fell in love with art in general. And I kind of started to do this thing where I would sit down every night and just paint. My wife would be watching TV. I'd paint the chair. I'd paint her. I'd paint the food I ate. And it kind of kickstarted this journal of what I was doing. So then I started to kind of go out with it. And in the summer, I started to paint lakes and trees and all this kind of stuff. And then found some really good people online where I was learning from. You kind of dovetail that into my snowboarding. I started to have this, we've all been there, right? End of season. You sit there and go, oh, I can't believe that's over. What am I going to do on a Saturday?
Yeah.
And I started to think, like, how do I replicate that feeling of like, wow, I love being on top of a mountain, that what it gives you from a mental health perspective, what it just gives you, the freedom. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to start to paint some of the stuff that I like doing. So from there, I just started to paint mountains and ski resorts, and just from there, it really kicked on, and just, I've loved every minute of it since. So I've only been really painting now for 6 years. So it's not something that I've been doing for years and years and years. So 6 years, 6 journals worth of seasons of snowboarding. So that's kind of where it all started from.
Now knowing that hearing now that it has only been 6 years, that's kind of amazing, because the artwork is great. Check him out.
Thank you.
mattchampnessart.com. Links will be in the description. Very easy to find. It looks like you've been doing it for a longer while. And if you ever get the chance to visit Matt at a show, whether it's one of the expos or one of the smaller shows, as he said, he's got so many. How do you put together a catalog like that in just 6 years? That's a lot of work, I think. Yes? No?
Yeah, it is. So we've got, a couple of things, right? So we started off on the Epic Pass. When I first started doing this, we were on the Epic Pass. So I kind of was like, let me paint the epic ones. Then we switched over. Sunday River's our home mountain. It's actually where I am now. Did the first run of the season today.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was great.
Love it.
So we moved over to Icon and Sunday River. So I started doing that, and then really 2 years ago, I did the big expo show. I think 2 years ago, and I was blown away with just the sheer number of requests to do mountains. Like, it was, I kept this journal behind kind of my booth where I'd write like a scorecard, and it was Mount Snow, Waterville Valley. It was just an endless list of mountains. So that really started this thing where I was like, I've really got to start to get out there and do more, because there's a demand for it. So again, it kind of fuels my passion. It just made me get up there and go, right, I'm gonna start to travel a little bit more now and spend more time, different spots, different mountains. It's been great to be able to do that. Now, not every painting I've done, I've been there. Sometimes I'm relying on people sending me a photo.
Okay.
What I try to do with my art is, nothing gives me greater satisfaction when someone stands in front of my art and goes, I know where that is. If you take a line down here, if you go down there, this tree run there, you get to this spot. That's the emotion I want to get from people in my art. So when anyone ever asks me, can you paint this? One of the first things I'll always ask is like, where do you want me to paint, and why do you want me to paint that? Because I want someone to say, I want it from this spot. I got married here, or I got engaged here, or there's a little jump here. I want someone to tell me that, so that I can get that emotion in my painting, and either I'll stand there myself, or someone will send me a picture and say, this is the spot you need to be, Matt.
That's awesome. What a great way to do it. And goodness gracious, because Matt does stuff all over the U.S. and there might even be are there any Canadian ones in there? I can't remember.
Tremblant, I've just done Tremblant.
Okay.
I was next to Revelstoke. I kind of got some eyes from the Revelstoke group saying, like, where's my art from Revelstoke in the booth next to me. So that's
nice.
I need to get that on the list to do it. I've not really done much Europe either. It's been mostly US. Every February we do a trip out west. So we've been very fortunate that that's our kind of main holiday every year. So I've got to paint a lot of the West Coast. So. Yes,
there are mountains represented from just about every U.S. region there is. So as you could tell, Matt, he snowboards and then he chronicles through painting. Awesome. Great. In fact, there's a great a mix, and I'm going to come back to the mix of snow sports and art, but it's on the homepage. So if you check it out again, mattchampnessart.com, there's this great photo. I'm not sure which top you're at, but it's you. Someone's taking the shot. It's your back, but it's you fully kitted out to snowboard, helmet, goggles, but right next to you is the bag of supplies. It's a true, like, Matt's not a poser. He's truly combining these two things, which is awesome. And this picture is great. Whoever took this photo, shout out to them. It's a great photo. But
that's the top of Sunday River, White Heat. That's the top of White Heat left. Yeah.
See, there you go, everybody. I've never skied in Maine. That ends this year. I'm going to Maine this year. Yeah,
you should.
For all the places that I've been, I'm like you. I like to go see these places, and I think I've been to close to 30 places. I think.
Wow.
Which for some people is a lot. For some people, it's not so much. You know, I know people who've done more than double that, and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. But Maine's coming. Maine's this year. I don't care. Likely Lost Valley, because that's now on the Indy Pass, which makes it the closest, I think, to me. But I don't know. We'll see. Or actually, no, Black New Hampshire. Black Maine. Black New Hampshire? That's not Maine. What am I talking about? Black Maine is probably closer. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this is about Matt, not about me. It's me. All the sidetracks. All right. So you get, as you were saying, the folks at Revelstoke, hey, where's our stuff? People are asking for places. So the mix of snow sports and the arts is a very real thing. And I have trouble kind of describing that connection, that combination, beyond saying the arts is what separates humanity from the other animals on here. Some people say it's mathematics. Some places say it's ability to speak. It's not, in my opinion. It's artwork, music, film, painting, another drawing, things. Do you think you can articulate that what that connection is with snow sports and the arts? Do you think you can do it? Have you ever even thought about it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't put my finger on it because it comes in so many different forms and so many formats. Like my mind, when you think of art in the snow sports, I always think of the design of the skis. Like you're seeing more now skis and snowboards with art. On the base or on the top, right? You're just seeing more and more of that now. I guess the biggest inspiration I have, and I'm guessing most of your listeners have either heard of this person or bought his book, is the James Niehaus, right? The man behind the maps.
Sure.
And for me, when I look at that book, it's just such a cool moment to look at it. We've been there. When you look at a ski map, I've been here, been there. I need to go here. I guess that for me, art is looking at that and putting yourself in that piece of art and thinking, I know where that is. I've been there, or I want to do that. So I feel like that for me is what the art should do. It should kind of wow you and make you evoke a memory of or a inspiration from what you're seeing.
I think so. That sounds about right. And with something like this, you know, not all of us are a die hard, but we all love the snow sports, whether it's skiing, snowboarding. It doesn't even have to be alpine. There's cross country and such like this. Were there any cross country photos or things that could be, or not photos, paintings, that you've done that is kind of that kind of thing, cross country?
So not quite cross country, but I've done, over the last, 2-3 years, I've kind of got into the backcountry, and so done a lot of split boarding.
Okay.
And I've what I've tried to do is trying to kind of go off the beaten path a little bit, whether that's in the resorts or just kind of in the side country, in whether in New Hampshire or Maine. And again, I've learned then to embrace nature, embrace sitting at a spot and thinking that's a great view. I should record that view or what I've just done on getting there. So less cross country, but my wife is Finnish. I have a lot of her Finnish friends want me to do cross country and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's on the horizon. But yeah, split boarding is kind of giving me an opportunity to do kind of different stuff now, because I do get a lot of requests to do mountains, non-ski mountains or beaches or things like that. So it is taking me into different places, which has been great. It's been a really good positive experience for me.
Awesome, man. And again, there are so many. That's why I had to ask. There's no way I would know. And I'll tell you why. When I first met Matt, it was, like I said, it was at the Boston Outdoor Expo last April. We were there, and I wandered up and I saw I got drawn to ski areas. I saw them and I was like, all right, I'm going to go check that out. And I'm flipping through different prints. Awesome. I was like, oh, that looks great. That looks great. That looks great. And to my surprise, my shock, even, I pull out a Whaleback. Whaleback Mountain, my
Right.
little home mountain over here at Enfield, not far from where I live, 10, 15 minutes, a little not profit. I love the place. I don't know. Have you gotten a chance to go up there? Was that an in-person or no?
Yeah, that was an in person. So where this came from is like, so we'd never been to Whaleback. I've got two small children, smallish now, and I don't remember the road, but every time you drive past Whaleback, we always say the same thing. How many skiers can you see? How many snowboarders can you see? And it's just a part of our journey when we're up to Killington. We drive past Whaleback and we pass comment on it. And it was something that I was like, I need to go up there. Through my split boarding, I've started to become a big part of the community of like this. There's a lot of ski touring.
Yep.
It's ski touring places. And one of the things they offer a demo day at Whaleback, and I wanted just to go and had a free Saturday. So I actually went and did a demo day and just sat at the base. And I love the lodge, love the lines on the not on the lodge, sorry, where the Whaleback sign is on the blue hut.
Yep.
And there was an opportunity to do it. Yeah. And I parked up. Luckily it was kind of a warm day and just kind of sketched away and painted away. And yeah, that's where my kind of Whaleback one comes from. Whaleback always gets the best reaction from everyone, because I think people don't quite believe that I've got Whaleback or I've done Whaleback. So Whaleback's definitely one. Black Mountain in New Hampshire is the other one. People can't believe I've got those two. And it always makes me think I'm doing the right thing when I've got mountains like that. So.
Oh, 100%. I think it shows that you are equal opportunity. You're not just out there painting these giant resorts like, well, for here in the East, it's Stowe and Killington and in Sunday River, these big places, but you're also taking a look at the small ones. And he's not wrong. We've heard that story 100 times, driving north or south on I-89, wherever you're going. And, it's just like, there it is. You don't know it's there. It's not a super giant place, but man, it's a lot of fun. And I love the place. And I was pleasantly surprised. I bought it right then and there. And that is the one that is framed here at the headquarters here in the office space. So it was beautiful to see. I showed it to their executive director. He loved it. I wouldn't be surprised if he picks one up as soon as he can, because he loves that place like you wouldn't believe. And, it was great to see it. It was awesome. It's good to know that you got there. Everybody else, check that place out if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. But again, the small places, they're on your list too, and that's great. You also mentioned Waterville, a place I truly enjoy. It's just awesome to see, and you're not wrong. Especially when you jump off. So now you got the touring thing going, and you're able to check out these other places. Well, if you're riding Icon, did you go uphill New England too? Did you get that pass?
No, I didn't. I was tempted to get that. And, we've gone Icon this year. I think next year I might go back to Epic. I think okay. Again, I've got my list in front of me of the ones where I haven't visited. They're starting to get on. They're starting to be more Epic focused. So I think next year I might get on the Epic pass, but I'm not sure how you're going to edit this when I describe this, or
please.
I've started to realize. Yeah, I've started to realize now. I can paint the Stows, the Sunday River, the Killington, and I can, and I get people buy that art.
Sure.
The ones that sell the most is Black Mountain, it's Whaleback, it's King Pine, it's Bromley. It's Burke Mountain. It is mountains where someone sits there and goes, I learned to ski there. My kids learned to ski there. I want that memory. I've got fond memories of it. So that I think for me, I need to go to the Indy Pass. I think that's where I've not done the Berkshires, any of the Berkshire mountains yet. I think for me, it's about, I need to do the small independent ones. And if you're small independent and you're listening to this, I would love to donate as much art as I can to anyone at any of these resorts. Like, get it up I would love to give it for charity, some auctions. I've done that in the past. But yeah, I really want to see this as an opportunity to help small independent mountains in any which way I can. So I think that's kind of next for me, is really kind of exploring the small independent ones, because if we're not careful, those will die out. There'll be a real crying shame. It really will be.
Absolutely. And I love the Indy Pass every year, except for the first year. The first year I missed out, but every year since, Indy Pass all the way. I've snuck Epic in there too, but whatever. I'm all over the place. Again, you named King Pine. I love King Pine. What a great place.
Yeah, it's great. Lovely place.
I was just scrolling through here. We got Magic Mountain right here. Magic, people love Magic. And I think, as you said, those are the bigger sellers of the smaller joints. I think it goes along with what you were saying about how it evokes an emotional connection, a response like, oh, I've been there. I grew up there. I skied there. Me, my parents, my grandparents skied and rode there, whatever it is. And that's a beautiful thing to me. And that's what these little mountains are, like Whaleback and these smaller places. That's where families go. And then, then you move out and you go to other places, I mean, you got Whiteface over here. That's pretty big. Winter Park, Loon, Sunapee, if you can find a parking spot, Smugs, whatever.
Sunapee's got a soft place in my heart. So that was where I first painted on a mountain.
Oh, nice.
So my son learned to snowboard there. I learned to snowboard there. And then my daughter did a couple of years after. And that was the first place where she was having a lesson. I was like, I should take my art book and just sit and paint when I've got nothing to do. I'm waiting for her to finish her lesson. Sure. Sunapee's always got a special place in my heart. That's the one. And I don't know if you've ever seen my Sunapee art, but it's from right at the top. It's the picture of the whatever the express is right at the top.
Yes.
It was a snowy day, and I sat at the top and just got my pencil and pad out and just sat on a stump and just painted away. So yeah, for me, Sunapee's got a special place in my heart. And one of the things, I'm not unique in this. I painted just to the side of it upper blast off. So I don't know if you've been to Sunapee.
Yes.
When I started to load a snowboard, I was like, one day I'm going to go down upper blast off. We have to do that to my son. And in your mind you think like, oh, it's such a far away. But a year in, 2 years in, off you go. It's become our favorite run we've ever done type thing, just from the memories of going down there. So yeah, it's I love Sunapee. I love kind of painting there. I think it's a wonderful place to. But I agree, the parking is a nightmare.
Oh yeah, and again, I pick on Sunapee, especially on a Saturday. I choose not to go to that place on a weekend. I choose not to go to any of them on a weekend. It's for those who are still in the epic hate, icon hate. Yeah, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But if you've ever skied on a weekend, even back in the 90s before these things existed, it's skiing on a weekend. And the goal of every ski and snowboard enthusiast is to get a job where you're off on Monday and Tuesday, which I do. So, but Sunapee is great.
Do you want me to tell you the story of what happened to me today at Sunday River?
With Matt teasing a story, I think it's a great time to jump in here and talk about my partners, first and foremost, Whaleback Mountain. Whaleback Mountain in Enfield, New Hampshire, right off of I-89, exit 16 on I-89. It's right there. You can't miss it. Matt and I talk about it in the episode, how he saw it over and over again, heading up and down the interstate, how I saw it, and we've gone there, and we love the place, and I still love the place. Whaleback is everything you could want in a small package. You want easy stuff? They got easy stuff. You want harder, more challenging stuff? They got you covered. You want natural stuff, trees, a terrain park? They have it all. Small package, but they have it all, and they know how to do it. It's a lot of fun. Great place. Never hear a bad word about it. And I think you should visit it. And it's very easy to do. Again, it's very easy to find. Enfield, New Hampshire, exit 16, I-89. Wicked easy to find. Tickets are well under $100. I think they're under $60. You can come there. It's relatively cheap. And if you have an Indy Pass, you have 2 days waiting for you. Yes, Whaleback is a full Indy Pass partner with a brand new Entebeni RFID system. Man, they are all in, and it is wonderful. Whaleback Mountain is great, my friends. You've heard me talk about it. You've seen my stuff from it. They've been on there. John and Alex, who isn't there anymore, but he does work with the Indy Pass, so it still counts. John has been on a ton of times. We've had a lot of fun over there. I'm a lifty there. Great place. Visit if you can. Whaleback Mountain. Ski it to believe it. Also, we're talking Imbrace. IMBRACE. Imbrace makes this wonderful, I can't ski without it anymore, wonderful pair of snow sports leggings. Designed in part with Shemi Alcott, a professional, an Olympian, an Olympic class skier over there from the UK. Imbrace has made a pair of snow sports leggings that make skiing all day wonderful. How do they do it? Well, it's a base layer, sure. It's a pair of leggings, sure, but it's built for skiing. It's boot cut. You don't have to stuff something in or around your boots. It's boot cut. You come up the legs a little, built-in knee support, feels great. We've all trashed our knees. Feels awesome. Comes right up into the hips, right into the back with all kinds of features that make it wonderful on the body for both men and women. Yes, there are women-centric features in this pair of leggings, and you can find out all about it by going to Imbrace.com. IMBRACE.com. Go to their website, check them out. I have a pair. I also have a pair of their Dynamic Plus leggings for the stuff that I'm doing off the ski season, man, and it is wonderful. I love wearing them. They feel great. I don't want to take them off some days. It is wonderful. Imbrace.com. You can check out both Whaleback Mountain and Imbrace in the description of the episode. The links are there. Check them out, and I'll see you at Whaleback while I'm wearing my Imbrace leggings. And now back to Matt's story.
This is by no means a slight on Sunday River. I just wanted to preempt that because it's my home mountain. But they've obviously got on lock. They've got a loading up and down because they've got it all ski all the way down. So you go up there. It's a 2-hour wait to get back down the mountain. So it took me half an hour to get up because it was stop start, and then I got in line for 2 hours, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't wait for 2 hours. I would miss this podcast. So me and a bunch of other people, we walked down. So yeah, that was first 2 runs of the day, and then I had to walk down. So yeah, my calves and my lower back are absolutely killing me. But I did have to remind myself, it's still being out there, right, in the outdoors. It's still snowboarding. It's the beginning of the season. So yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I will pick on places openly, but then I do self-deprecating humor too, so it's fine. Because I do love Mount Sunapee. Like, talk about a place, if you've ever been to the top on a nice clear day, and I've been there on a sunny morning, and man, talk about views in every direction that are incredible. Lakes, everything. It's just like in a great part of New Hampshire to really get a view, and you can see like 7 or 8 other mountains from the top. I went over it with one of the people there. They told me everything you can see, and while I was able to identify some, not all of them, because I'm the worst at that. I did know Mount Snow, though. That one I could tell anytime. But that's where I grew up. I grew up working there in the 90s in the high school and stuff. So that was my big, not my first ski experience, but it's where I actually learned how to do it. Anyway, Sunday River, though, again, it's a challenge. Early season is a challenge. We poke fun maybe, but we're not hurting. We're not haters. What are you going to do? It's first thing in the season, what are you going to do? Like, it's going to be interesting after the coming Thanksgiving here. So while you may be hearing this on December 11th for the first time, it is the 26th of November, and Thanksgiving is right around the bend. Matt, do you do Thanksgiving not being an American by birth?
I do. Yeah. Just curious out there. I do celebrate 4th of July as well. And I do Thanksgiving. So yeah, we're very lucky with Thanksgiving. Either we'll have friends from the UK come over, but I look in dread at people when they talk about their Thanksgivings with 20 people in a room and stuff. Luckily for us, it's either the 4 of us or some tight other knit family members or some friends, but we use this weekend as the kickstart of our ski season. So yeah, it's everyone knows to stay away from us for this weekend because we're going to be up in the mountains and snowboarding. Perfect. So yeah,
I 100% agree.
Yeah, we're always on the mountains Thanksgiving. So
I 100% love it. It's beautiful. I don't like the big to-dos either. I mean, look, if you could pull it off, I get it. I worked in food service doing banquets and stuff. Get it. If you could pull it off, it's a beautiful thing. It's an artwork in and of itself. But if I could just be with like 5 other people at Eton, that's great. I know that might sound like a silly question to ask someone from the UK, but it's a segue into what I'm going to say next. Matt, originally from the UK, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct. So he's not our first friend from the UK. For those who don't know, the second biggest audience after the United States for Ski Rex Media is the UK, not Canada, which a lot of people guess, but it is the UK. And we have a lot of friends from over there. Everybody from Raccoon Media, who put on the expos that we were just at. Kim K, another artist over there. Dr. Carol Porter, Louise Poe, who's going to be on this. It's like I could go over there right now and actually have people to talk to, except for Matt. The beautiful thing about him is being here on the East Coast of the U.S., and I don't have to deal with those time zones, which have gotten me in the backside more than once already this season. Not just from the country, England, but from the state, Arizona. They both got me, and it's more daylight savings time got me in both. That's what that was. But it doesn't matter. So then with that said, you get to, were you getting into the snow sports there when you were growing up? Because that's a whole different snow sports culture. And how, like, do you think that's going to be a part of your art sometime, is going home and be like, hey, I'm gonna do this now, or whatever it is?
Yeah. So what it was like, I must have been 11 or 12. I went on a ski trip for the first time. So I learned to ski, did a couple of ski trips via school in the Alps, Morzine and Val d'Isère, and did that for a few years. And then I skied again in Seattle, my mid-teens. And then I didn't touch a snowboard or a set of skis until I was late 30s, early 40s. So I had a good 20, 25 year layoff from any snow sports. I arrived in the US. We've got some friends who, own a house up in Sunday River. We'd come up and visit during Thanksgiving time. They would ski, and I was like, I'd love to get back on it one day. And my son wanted to learn how to snowboard, and I was like, I'm gonna learn to snowboard. So I got him at lessons at Neshoba and Sunapee. And I was like, what am I doing sitting in the parking lot watching this when I could be out there learning myself? So self-taught, lots of bruises, hurt bum, hurt wrist, but yeah, I kind of self-taught myself. But to your question, yeah, I think one of the next things I'd like to do is Europe. Japan would be is definitely on my list, but I just don't know how I'm going to get there. But Europe is definitely. We went to Chamonix in the summer last year, and I took a load of photos and did some painting there. But yeah, I think France and the Swiss Alps would be a good next step for me, I think, from my art perspective.
Very good. It sounds like your life has almost been run according to, I don't want to say fate. I don't like the word fate. I'm not a big believer in it, but it's like, 20 years off, not growing up as an artist, and here you are as a snow sports enthusiast and an artist, and they work together. Is fate the right word? Is it just worked out that way? How do you look at it? How do you see
it? That's a good way to look at it. I believe in fate. I don't know if it's fate or luck or whatever it might be. But yeah, I feel very fortunate and blessed that I'm able to do this. Like I didn't know I could do art, right? I just didn't know.
Sure.
And I didn't know I could snowboard and sit on a mountain. So I feel very fortunate and blessed that I've got that opportunity. It's part-time, right? I've still got a real job.
Sure.
So, it's definitely something that I've started to do it. I've started to realize, like, I don't know, could this be a job one day? I don't know. I'd love it to be. But it's definitely kind of opened my doors to potentially being a little bit more independent. When I'm a little bit older, could I continue to do that more full time? So yeah, it's exciting. Definitely opened my eyes to the opportunities that might be in the future.
That's awesome, man. We all love when this kind of stuff works out. What a great story. That is a story itself. You might as well try writing next and do a memoir or a biography with the artwork in it. I think that would work. But what do I know? If I knew anything about writing a book, I would have finished the two that I started.
Yeah, well, I've got a book. I have got a book. I did a book during COVID. I kind of set myself this goal of, like, I'm gonna do a book of just my art. A lot of people ask me, can you put it in a book? So I did it.
Okay.
I put it in there. One of the things I would like, it's on my list, is I'd love to do a proper book of all my work. Sure. Once I've got to a size where I can scale it and have enough pages to fill, but just do a proper book of everything. So that's one of my goals to do.
Awesome. Very good, man. And here it is. I just popped it up here. Snowboard first, paint later, a family's journal boarding in the Northeast. Again, you've tied it all in so perfectly. I think it speaks to what you actually do and how you do it and how much you enjoy it and have a passion for it. And here it is. So that's also on the website, and it has its own website. Those loops will be in the description, as I said, so you can find Matt very easily.
Thank you.
Again, some of the stuff looks great anyway. You might find your home mountain, you might find something else. You've done here a study of the various gondola cars. That's actually really cool. I wanted to bring that one up while I'm looking at it, because you got the trams here of various, not just from like the Palisades Lake Tahoe over there, or Palisades Tahoe, whatever that thing's called nowadays, but Killington's gondola, the Cannon tram, which is world famous, because it's like the only one around here. Very, not scary, but it definitely, I don't like riding it. It bounces too much.
That thing rattles around and you're packed in. Yeah, that's a scary place.
Yeah, definitely not a great thing to be on if you get motion sick easy. It's not like riding in a regular gondola. It's got weight to it and it bounces. It's interesting. It's cool to watch, but I try to avoid it. I'll go up the other way, the long way.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got all of those too. And again, if you're looking for something to, I mean, goodness, this comes out December 11th. Pay for the extra shipping and get it there by the 24th. If you're a Christmas gift giver, I don't know. I don't participate in that stuff. I left that behind in my retail days, my friend. I miss when Black Friday was really Black Friday, and that was a lot of fun back in the day. So you're up there. You're just skiing right now, or snowboarding and riding, or are you doing painting? Are you doing a local show to show off the art, anything like this?
Yeah, so I did the expo. That's kind of the kind of pinnacle of my year, just in terms of foot traffic. So what I do is I do a lot of craft shows. So I do a lot in North Conway. Got a few Christmas ones lined up. I'm doing one this Saturday in Bethel up near Sunday River. So I'm doing a show there.
Totally.
And then I'm doing a couple more before the holidays. But yeah, just I think over the last few years, what I've tried to do is part of kind of expanding my remit is just being out in more fairs and stuff, and relying less on kind of mountains to have craft fairs, like the fall fests and stuff. Sure. Actually doing more, like Ragged reached out to me recently, like, hey, we do a lot of events in the summer as well. Could you come? Waterville Valley do a really great couple of fairs in the spring and summer. They've reached out and said, like, hey, could you do this too? So I think there's just a lot of opportunity, I think, to continue to kind of go and do more fairs throughout the year than just the big ski ones that I'm accustomed to.
Yeah, and I say go for it, man, especially since you said you've also branched out into other seasons like the beach and so on and so forth. How does that fall in? Like, do you still get the same kick out of doing stuff that aren't snow sports related, or how's that feel?
That's a really good question. So I went through a phase a few years ago where I was like, I'd really like to push the envelope with this a bit. Like, could this ever be a thing where I could earn some real money and do it like, I don't know, semi-professionally or whatever you want to call it. And I'll never forget, a few people were like, I'd love some Valentine's stuff. I was like, I'll do some Valentine's stuff. Yeah. I remember sitting there going, what am I doing painting hearts on a piece of card? Like, this is not. And I remember just sitting there thinking, I'm not doing this. And and it was actually a really good opportunity, because I remember sitting there going, like, this is not, I don't want to sell my soul to doing something that I don't believe in. So I do turn down stuff quite a lot if it doesn't kind of spark my creative spirit. So I do want to be able to sit there and paint something that inspires me. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm going to go through the motions, and then you're not going to get what I'm painting if I just go through the motions. So
yes.
So
I love that. Kids, there is a lesson there to be learned. Right. You don't have to do everything. And if you do what you enjoy, again, Matt's not a jerk. He's not saying it just to say no. He knows what he wants to do, what he's capable of, and where his talents and energies and experience will work best. He's helping you. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Thank you. I guess one of the things that it's people say this all the time about my art, and one thing you'll notice if you look at it, there are no people in my art. It is something I've traditionally stayed away from. Drawing people is an art form in itself that I just don't feel comfortable. I'm now starting to learn how to paint people, so that in the photos now, people want. I had a request last week from the expo. Could I do a picture of Vale and a family of 4 under the gates, the back bowl picture in Vale? I've accepted it, but I've got to learn how to paint people a lot. I just haven't painted people traditionally. So yeah, it's definitely a learning experience, but one that I want to do. So
very interesting that you mention it, because I didn't notice.
People do comment on it all the time.
To me, it's, while they're not there, I'm so used to it being, I've always said that snow sports are very social sports. There's always someone around to talk to. You can always make a friend on a lift. That's a thing. So to me, they're just there in my mind. Yes. I just noticed one here at Sunday River of what appears to be a giant slalom course. And there's no racers. but I wouldn't have noticed that if you hadn't said it.
Right.
But it doesn't take away from it. It just looks great. I mean, I see that and I think of the, all the work that just went into setting the course. And now, the course setters get to look at it before it's touched and just look at that, which is an art in itself. Like people live to set courses. So yeah, it's awesome. I had no idea.
That's so true what you just said, and I guess part of me is like, have I shied away from painting people? Maybe so, but again, if I drew a picture of a racer in there, the racer would be the picture, not the fact that I love the red gates against the white snow and the trees in the background, and the fact that if you're at Sunday River and you're part of the ski race program, you know what that run is, you know where on the course that is. That's what I want, not looking at it going, I wonder who that is, that person coming down the mountain. That's not why I painted that scene. I like the red and the white. I love the trees in the background of it. And people who do the racing at Gould Academy know exactly where that is. So
yeah, no, it looks great. I love it. I think it, like we said, you just said, I think it works so much better without the people. Ski racing. Are you a fan? You going to make the drive down from Maine to Killington this weekend or no?
No, do you know what? I've actually, I was going to have a booth at Killington this weekend, and I just can't. I might do it next year I'm going to make sure this weekend is free next year, and I actually might do the Killington and sell some of my art in a booth at the race course. So, yeah, I would. I mean, I'm gutted it's not this year with Michaela going for 100 and stuff like that. I think it would be kind of a special occasion, right? So,
oh goodness, yes.
But it's going to be amazing, right? So yeah, I'd love to do like we love copper out on the West Coast. Obviously, they have a massive half pipe and a lot of competitions there. I'd like to go paint that one day. I think that would be cool. A kind of a cool experience to do that. So that's on my. We're going there in February, so I might kind of sit there and do that at some point.
I think that's cool, man. Getting to the action sports side of it. That's pretty cool. Not just the landscaping and the other stuff, and again, I know that you people out there who love the Ski Rex Media podcast are listening to this for the first time on the 11th of December. So Michaela Schifrin might be up to 102 or 3 by now. I forget how many weeks that is between there. She's going for 100, maybe 101 if she could pull out a win in GS this weekend too, for it is Black Friday weekend and Killington is going to be mobbed. I'm fairly certain Killington's record attendance was close to 20,000 people. Wow. I'm fairly certain that's going to get beaten this year, especially on Sunday. That's slalom day. So good luck. For those of you who didn't figure it out this past race, again, it's December when you're hearing this, always park at the Skyship and take the bus up. Don't try and go up that road,
access road.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go up it, but I'm media. I'm gonna be there at 6 o'clock in the morning with my parking pass up top. That's fine. But when I have gone as a spectator, park at Skyship, I don't play. Nope. Yeah. And then this year, I'm sure it was nuts. I hope you checked out the coverage on Ski Rex Media. Yeah. What else we got, Matt? Anything else we want to throw out there before I let you get about your day in Maine?
No. I guess if there's anyone listening out there, I'm always looking at opportunities to paint new mountains, new viewpoints on the mountain. So if you're ever thinking like, even if you're not going to purchase it, hey, you should do this. This is a great view or a great run. Just let me know. You're going to have my contact information on my website and stuff. Just ping me. I'd love to talk all things skiing, snowboarding, and mountains. So if there's a landscape that you think would be good, just ping me. I'd love to learn more. I'm trying to think out a way of putting on my website of like a leaderboard of what mountain should I do next, or what run I should do next. Okay. I'm trying to figure out in my mind what that would look like. I actually thought about doing it at the expo, having a whiteboard of a leaderboard, like what should I do next. I just wasn't sure what people might write.
I mean, you got to look out for clowns. Of course, there's always clowns somewhere, but it would be interesting. I wonder if the indies would pull it out over the big names like we were talking about. That'd be very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Well, very good, Matt. He's looking for the interaction, the fan interaction, mattchampnessart.com. It's a great place to start. He has an Etsy store as well.
Yeah, you can find me on Etsy.
Yep. So there you go. Very easy. Again, links are in the description. You'll be able to find Matt. Contact information is there. Keep an eye out for his calendar, his schedule. Let's see if this comes out to December 11th. Where are you going to be next, do you think? Do you know yet or no?
I'm gonna stay. I'm basically gonna stay up in Sunday River for the month of December. Then I'm gonna do Killington early over the Christmas period. Stratton. I've actually decked my truck out, so I'm going to sleep in the back of my truck as an opportunity to get out on the mountain.
Very good.
So if you see someone freezing cold in a parking lot at a mountain near you, give us a wave and say hello. So that's much to my wife's. She giggles at it because I'm someone who doesn't travel lightly at all. In fact, I'm going to be camping out in the back of of my truck at the Skyship at some point. So.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I love it. So there you go. Matt, he's not just an artist. He's not a poser. He's out there doing it. He's going to take on the old truck camping version of doing it. You're a better man than I. Actually, I would do it, but I don't have a truck. I got my teeny weeny little car. Right. One day I'll get a truck going and we'll see where that is. Awesome. Check out his website. Check out his artwork. Like I said, it's very good. I have a piece. I saw it for the first time and I wasn't even snowbound. It was the outdoor expo, the summertime expo, the camping and climbing and hiking and biking expo, not the one I'm usually at. Are you going to be at Outdoor and Run Expo this year too, you think?
I don't know. Up for, I'd love to get your thoughts on it after, but I might do. I don't know. I'm in two minds. So
yeah, well, and that one's a little tough because this year it's like the first weekend in March, I think.
That's
so
right.
The season's not even over yet.
Yes.
So will those of us who participate in snow more than not snow be able to do it? Who knows? I don't know. But Matt, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it, dude. This is awesome. I'll talk to you in a minute about a couple things. For everyone else, check out the websites, check out the links, check it all out. Pick up something from Matt. He'll appreciate it. I appreciate it. And we'll see you all out there, Matt. If you're in the area, let me know. I'll meet up with you. We'll do runs. Killer. Thanks, buddy. Well, talk to you later.
Thank you. Speak soon.
And there he goes, my friends. Matt Champness, good guy, great art. I have my copy, my print of his work from Whaleback Mountain. It's very cool. One of these days, I'll get my office here squared away so everybody can see it, and you can see the stuff hanging around on the walls, not just from him, but I have a print from our friend Kim K, also from the UK. Isn't that something? That's how that all ties together. Thank you again for joining the SkiRex Media Podcast for another brand new episode, another new interview, another new friend of ours. I hope you continue to do so next week. There is another new episode coming, and I think you'll all get a kick out of that one as well. Do you need to know when it's coming? Please subscribe to the SkiRex Media Podcast. You can do that through your favorite podcast app, whichever one it may be. You can also do that on YouTube. It is an audio-only version on YouTube as well, but it is there. There is also Patreon. You can go to Patreon and subscribe there. Now, you can do a couple things there. One, you can sign up for free. There is a version of the Patreon page that has no paywall. That's good there'll be blog posts there. There'll be updates there instead of the newsletter. I did have a newsletter. I should take it off of my website. That's something I have to do, and I will. But if you want those kind of updates, newsletter-style updates, sign up there. You want some blog pieces, some written work, you can sign up there. And then if you like that, you can move up to the next tier, which is only $1. And you can check that out over on patreon.com/SkiRexMedia. You can also follow SkiRex Media on the socials, X, Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn if you'd like. You can do that there. You can also get in contact with SkiRex Media, funny enough, by using the email address contact@skirexmedia.com. You can send through questions, criticisms, topic ideas, all kinds of stuff like that. And you can also go to speakpipe.com/SkiRexMedia and leave SkiRex Media a voicemail with all the same stuff. Now, here's what I'd like you to do if you could. I realized the other day that Christmas is on a Wednesday, podcast day here at SkiRex Media. So here's what I'd like to do. I do enjoy fan interaction. I enjoy listener interaction. It's a lot of fun. If you could, and I would appreciate it, send me in something, either through email, through social media DM, or through the voicemail. Send me a Christmas story. Send me a Christmas shout out, not just to me, but to your family, friends, whomever it is. Christmas story about snow sports, shout outs, whatever it is, if it involves Christmas time, if it involves the holidays, let me know, send it in. I'll put together a podcast about it. This is something I'd like to do. I'd really like to do. You're going to see it quite a bit across the social medias because I would like to get this done. Send me in something Christmassy. We'll build this up and we'll have ourselves a Ski Rex Media Family Christmas podcast on Christmas Day. How does that sound? I think that's a great idea and I hope you enjoy it. Once again, thank you for listening to the Ski Rex Media Podcast, being a Ski Rex Media Podcast friend and fan, and I will see you out there. My friends, the season is starting. It's Thanksgiving Day, the day I'm recording parts of this episode, and it's snowing outside. How cool is that? I'll see you out there, everyone. Thanks.